Virgo, wherever you are right now, whatever you were doing before you found this, I am glad something stopped you. I am glad you paused because this message, this specific one, has a weight to it that requires your full presence, not half of you, all of you, right here, right now. Something is suspended. That is the only way I know how to describe the energy around a particular connection in your life right now. Suspended, like a breath held, like a sentence that has not yet found its ending, like a door that has not fully closed and has not fully opened, but is hanging right there in that impossible space between. And there is a person on the other side of that door, someone who has been moving or who has seemed to be moving away from you slowly, with the energy of someone who has decided something or who is trying to decide something, who is in the process of creating distance, whether by choice or by circumstance or by the particular kind of fear that makes leaving seem easier than staying. I want to speak to that fear for a moment because it is important to understand what kind of leaving this is. Not all leaving is the same. Some people leave because they are done, because something in them has closed, because the feeling is gone, and there is nothing left to work with. That is not what is happening here. This leaving, this distance that has been growing, this gradual movement away is coming from someone who is full, not empty, full of something they do not know how to hold, full of feelings that are too large for the way they are used to living, full of something about you specifically that they cannot process without creating space from it first. The irony of it is that they are moving away from you because of how much they feel, not because of how little. But before they go, there is something they need to say. Whew. I want you to understand the nature of what is sitting in this person right now because it is not simple. And I think understanding it will change how you receive what is coming. They are not leaving because they stopped caring. I need you to hear that. Really hear it, because sometimes when someone creates distance, when they pull back, when they seem to be on their way out, the natural interpretation is they are done. They have decided, I am not worth staying for. They have moved on. That is not what is happening here. What is happening here is more complicated than that, and more tender, and more full of something that has not yet been expressed. Something that has been building in them, pressing against the inside of their chest, looking for a way out. That is not the door they have been trying to use. May, this month, this specific energy of May 2026 has a quality of truth telling to it, a quality of things that have been held, finally being released. Not because someone planned it, but because May does not let things stay suspended forever. It is a month of motion, of completion, of the things that have been sitting unfinished, finally finding their resolution. And what is sitting between you and this person is about to find its resolution, not by fading quietly, not by dissolving into nothing, but by being spoken out loud by someone who has been carrying something and has finally run out of the energy to keep carrying it alone. I want to tell you what this one last thing is, or as close as I can bring you to it, because I think you deserve to be prepared, not surprised, prepared. What they need to say to you is something true, not performative, not strategic, not something said to manipulate or to keep you in a particular position. Something genuine that has been living in them quietly through all the distance, through all the pulling back, through all the moments where they seemed like they were choosing everything except you. It may be an admission that the distance was never really about you, that what looked like moving away was actually moving away from themselves, from fear, from the version of themselves that does not feel worthy of what you offer. It may be an acknowledgement of everything you gave, everything you brought, everything that was taken for granted or not fully seen or not responded to the way it deserved to be. A recognition that arrives late, but arrives honestly. It may be something softer than either of those. Simply, I am not ready to let this go yet. Said by someone who has been acting like they were, but who has discovered in the approaching finality of it that they are not. Ooh, whatever form it takes, it is coming from a real place, and it is coming soon. Now I want to speak to you directly about how you have been holding this situation, because I see it. And I want to acknowledge it before I ask anything more of you. You have been graceful in a situation that did not require grace of you. In a situation where anger or withdrawal or matching their distance with distance of your own would have been completely understandable. You have held yourself with a dignity that is remarkable, and that nobody, including you, has fully acknowledged. I am acknowledging it now. The way you have handled yourself through this, through the uncertainty, through the not knowing, through the days when what they were doing made no sense. And you had to simply hold yourself together in the absence of clarity. That took something real and significant, and I see it. And now, before they walk away, something is being offered to you, a final word, a closing statement, or perhaps not a closing statement at all, perhaps something that reopens what seemed to be closing. I want you to be ready for both possibilities, because what they say may change things between you, may shift the direction entirely, may reveal that what looked like an ending was actually a clearing, a necessary disruption that had to happen before something more honest could form between you. Or it may confirm the ending, but with a tenderness that changes how you carry it. That gives you something to hold. Instead of only a door closing with no explanation, no acknowledgement, no final word that honors what existed between you. Either way, what is coming is better than the suspension, better than the not knowing, better than the energy of something unfinished, hanging in the space between you with nowhere to land. I want to speak to the fear now, because I know it is there. The fear of what they are going to say, the fear that the last thing is goodbye. And I want to say something to that fear directly. Even if it is goodbye, you will be okay. I do not say that dismissively. I say it with the full weight of what I know about you, about the strength you carry, about everything you have already survived, that you did not think you could survive. Before you survived it, you have navigated loss before. You have navigated uncertainty before. You have stood in the wreckage of things you thought you could not live without and discovered slowly, painfully, but completely that you could. You are not someone who is undone by endings. You are someone who is refined by them. Even when the refining hurts, it has always left you more fully yourself than you were before. But here is what I genuinely feel about this situation, what the energy of May is showing me about what is forming between you and this person. This is not simply a goodbye. There is too much still alive in this connection, too much unresolved, too much that has been felt but not expressed, too much that was building towards something before fear interrupted it, before distance was created, before whatever happened between you that neither of you has yet fully spoken about was allowed to settle into silence. What is coming before they walk away is the silence breaking. And I want to prepare you for what that might feel like, because it may not feel the way you expect. It may feel disorienting at first, like the ground shifting slightly beneath something you thought was settled, like a conversation you had given up on, suddenly being possible again. It may feel like relief, the specific relief of finally knowing, of the suspension ending, of something that has been floating, finally landing, even if it lands somewhere you did not expect. It may feel like grief and hope at the same time, which is one of the most disorienting combinations a human heart can hold. Grief for what was, hope for what might still be possible. Both real, both valid, both asking for space in you simultaneously. Let them both exist. Do not choose between them. Do not decide too quickly what this means or what you should do with it. Just listen. First, just listen. May is the month of truth in your love energy. And the truth, whatever it turns out to be, is going to give you something that the suspension never could. Clarity. Real clarity. The kind that lets you move in whichever direction is right, without the weight of the unfinished pressing against you, without the not knowing, without the door hanging open or closed, but never fully either. That clarity is a gift, even when it costs something to receive it, even when the truth it delivers is not the easiest truth. Clarity is always the beginning of something real, and you deserve something real. Before they walk away, they have one last thing to say. And when they say it, I want you to be present for it fully, without the armor of already having decided what it means, without the protection of expecting the worst, without the distance you have had to create to manage the uncertainty of not knowing where this was going. Just be there, open, listening, present, and whatever they say, trust that you will know exactly what to do with it, because you always have, even when you doubted that you would, you always have. The suspension is ending. May is seeing to that. And what comes after the suspension is the truth. You are ready for it.